Industrial Revolution is a combination of technological breakthroughs which will completely change business models, society, economies. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is coming with enormous speed and will change not only what we are doing, but who we are. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is a combination of technological breakthroughs which will completely change business models, society, economies. The Fourth Industrial Revolution is coming with enormous speed and will change not only what we are doing, but who we are. The world will grow more together in the digital age. We are becoming more interdependent. We will have not less, we will have more globalization. But the question is, how do we master and how do we construct this new type of globalization? I call it globalization 4.0. Do we construct this new type of globalization? I call it globalization 4.0. It's a poison for society. We cannot leave people behind. We have to make everything to ensure social cohesion of a society, because social cohesion is the prerequisite for a democratically functioning country. The future is already here. The future has begun. Why this fourth industrial revolution is so crucial? It's coming like a tsunami. When we look at all the breakthroughs and all the possibilities, is so crucial. It's coming like a tsunami. When we look at all the breakthroughs and all the possibilities, opportunities which we have in the coming years, it will be overwhelming to see how fast the change will happen in an exponential speed. Why is Apple so successful? It's not just because they produce great phones. They have a platform. What is essential for the future in terms of leadership capabilities is to develop contextual intelligence. We are living in fast changing systems. But the second dimension of leadership today is the soul. To have a vision, a long-term vision, as we find in this country. We need people, leaders, who have a compass which shows them the way into the future. We have to embrace this change with passion. I know change creates different feelings in different people. Feelings of fear, sometimes feelings of resistance. But change means opportunities. It's not the robotization of humanity. It's to make this earth a real human place.
We are wondering what is happening to the world. Everything is changing.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change.
Our bodies will be so high-tech, we won't be able to really distinguish between what's natural and what's artificial.
Inside our own heads is the most complex arrangement of matter in the known universe.
You might ask yourself, can we get to be superhumans?
The original industrial revolution was driven by the discovery that you could use steam engines to do all kinds of interesting things.
But that was followed by additional revolutions for electricity and computers and communications technology. We're now in the early stages of the fourth industrial revolution, which is bringing together digital, physical, and biological systems.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
All right, Shalom. This is Har One Banyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakar Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This lesson here is going to be about the fourth industrial revolution that's taking place right now. And I might be speaking in code a lot because, you can't say too much because of the algorithms on YouTube. And also just a notice to any Akim out there. I was informed that on NPR, which is like a radio station where they, have a lot of news on there, they had somebody on there that was speaking about algorithms, and they were a representative of YouTube, and they were saying that they're on to it, but people using different words like, for the right. So people using different terminologies. All right. So they're saying they're on to that, and they're going to start taking down people's videos with their new algorithm they're creating. But anyway, so with that being said, I probably won't be using that terminology. All right. But you'll be able to see it on the screen. The fourth industrial revolution. All right. That's what this is taking place. Now you have this guy here. I had a video starting off with him. Klaus Schwab. All right. This Edomite, part of the dragon. All right. And when he came out, I think a year ago, he said now is the proper time for a great reset. And then that's when everything started moving, and it's a lot that happened, you know what I mean? So this guy came out and said that, hey, it's time for a great reset. And since then, we've been seeing that happen, and they've been resetting the whole market, resetting the system, right? Basically, that's their code word for New World Order. But they said he said, I call it. This dude's a devil, man. See that? He must be somebody way, one of the higher ups. Because he said he calls it globalization 4.0. All right. Now, all right, let's go through it. Now, first you have the first industrial revolution, right? That started from around 1700s. You might as well say 1760 to 1820, as you can see on the screen. All right. And concluded until about 1840. All right. It's from 1700s to the 1800s. The Industrial Revolution, mind you, in the early 1700s, they started using electricity. All right. But now, and that's important. But check this out. It says the Industrial Revolution was the transition. Remember, he called it globalization. All right. To new manufacturing processes in Europe and the United States. All right. Basically, the dragon and the whore, Babylon. In the period from between 1760 to 1820 and 1840, all right? So the location basically was the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland and the Kingdom of Great Britain. Now it says this. Wow, it says number 4 industrial revolutions. So that's how many they're going to have, 4. All right. So check this out. It says the effects. The Industrial Revolution had many positive effects. It had a lot of negative effects too. All right. Amongst those was an increase in wealth, the production of goods, the standard of living. People had access to healthier diets, better housing, and cheaper goods. In addition, education increased during the Industrial Revolution. Basically, Esau was living it up at that time. All right, the Roaring 20s. No, that set off the Roaring 20s. But then you have steam. They started using steam at that time. All right. Let me see right here. That's what they started using. It says technology. So what technology were they into? They craft, right? But crafting, this was Esau using at that time. Important inventions of the first Industrial Revolution included the steam engine. All right, so they started using steam to work their machines and even get trains going. It says used to power steam locomotives. See that? Steam boats, steam ships, machines in the factories, electric generators, and electric motors. The incandescent lamp, light bulb, the telegraph and telephone, and the internal combustion engine in automobile. All right, so that's how much they have enhanced at that time. And 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries. All right, injuries, man. With that steam and the creation of those warehouses, and they were killing the Gadites in the midst of that, destroying the land, destroying the animals, polluting the air. It says, and also slavery. And riches gotten by deceit, man. See, that's how they got rich, and all those factories and increased. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, so that was the first Industrial Revolution. Okay, and a good movie to watch, a show to watch when it's dealing with that second Industrial Revolution is Hell on Wheels, where they started building the railroads from America to China. All right. And see how many people got killed and how many Gadites in the area were taken over through deceit, man. That says the second Industrial Revolution. Mind you, he said this is 4.0 right now. Also known as the technological revolution. See? That's when they started creating a lot of technology, stuff like the TV, let's see. Was a phase of rapid standardization and industrialization from the late 19th century into the early 20th century. In the same time, new technology systems were introduced, most significantly electrical power and telephones. All right, so they found different ways, like using the windmills to establish electricity. That's why you have a lot of electricity companies today, and they distribute the water through that same process. All right, that's what scripture's calling that. All right, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. So that the whole earth has been given into their hands. All right, and look what they've done with it. Esau with his blessing. All right, Isaiah 14. 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? All right, they're talking about those elites over there in Europe. All right, and tied right here to America, the elites over here in America. O Lucifer, son of the morning, basically the Illuminati. How art thou cut down to the ground, which did us weaken the nations, man. Through the Second Industrial Revolution, they weakened the nations and their establishment of the dollar, all right? Stealing all the world's resources, and taking over lands. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. All right. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. See, they've reached all the way over to America. The dragon, and then you have that those spirits that leaped out of the mouth of the dragon like a frog, which is what the banking system, what's it called, the military setup, NATO, and you have the religious system through the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. So they exalted themselves above the children of Israel as well, and out into the heaven with their space force and their satellites. All right, and that was in I think that was the Second Industrial Revolution, 1950s, 1960s. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. See, they want to be like the Most High. All right, that's what Esau is doing. That's why you hear Klaus Schwab talking that way about his New World Order. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So they're going into slavery. That made the world as a wilderness. See, they turned the world into a wilderness, a desert. All right? Especially with their paganism and their iniquity. And destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of their prisoners. All right? And they created a prison system. And through slavery, they've created this whole stock market, starting with livestock. All right, so let's get back to the Second Industrial Revolution. The technology that was developed, it says from the 1870s to the 1914. So everything else is around like the Third Industrial Revolution. All right, major technological advances of the Second Industrial Revolution. And this really went right into World War I. All right. In the 1870s, automatic signals, air brakes, and knuckle couplers of the railroads, and the Bessemer, and then the open hearth process in the steel mills, the telephone, electrical light, the typewriter. All right, all that was developed from 1870s to the 1914. It was called the Second Industrial Revolution, and there was a lot more that was developed at that time. All right, the third Industrial Revolution, or Digital Revolution, began in the late 1900s, and that's what a lot of us experienced. All right, check this out, and it is characterized by the spread of automation. All right, autonomy, stuff like little robots and Star Wars and shit like that. The digitization through the use of electronics and computers, the IBM, right? The invention of the internet, and that's spoken of in the scriptures, dealing with the unicorn. All right. And the discovery of nuclear energy. See that? And that's when they started. Let me get this. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And that fuel of fire represents uranium. All right. Uranium enrichment that they've used is called nuclear fire. All right, nuclear waste. And they went from dealing with fission with electricity, and they went to now fusion, and advanced a lot of their Navy and military aircraft from steam launchers on aircraft. They started developing the aircraft carriers, right? And they started moving towards nuclear after World War II. And they started doing nuclear tests with Russia, and you had Hiroshima and Nagasaki with America bombing Japan. All right. So that was called the dawn of the nuclear age, and that's what we're in. And that's going to end from World War I, World War II, World War III, according to the scriptures. But all this is biblical. All right. So that's why the Lord said this about Esau, Ezekiel 28, of the daughter of Babylon as well. 28:3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. All right, through their technology and the different agencies they got set up. And before, you had the Library of Alexandria, and then you had the Roman Empire that was taking over different lands and taking their information. And then you had the Catholic priests of the Roman empires and all over America and the Roman Catholic churches and around the world that were they had the confessionals. That was their first way of setting up agents, Jesuits, to get the information from people, man. All right, and they would train agents. That's why you have the G on the Masonic symbol for Jesuits. All right. Now, because originally it wasn't spelled with a J, it was with a G. Ezekiel 28:3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee, man. So the word was given to them. And the Lord calls them this. All right, Ephesians 2:2. Where in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, man. All right. And that's what Esau is. That spirit of disobedience is in them. All right. And they represent the prince of the power of the air. They control the air and the earth right now. All right. The Lord gave it over to them. All right. So it's kind of like been loaned to Esau. But look what they're doing with it. Ezekiel 28:3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And that's why they found all this technology. It says, what? With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver in thy treasures. All right. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, the business, hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. All right. So because of their riches, their heart is lifted up, and they come up with these ideas and these plans. But it's all the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for this to happen. All right. So by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic and business, that's how they got their riches, and through deceit and injuries. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh, as the heart of God. That's what Esau has done. They said they will be like the Most High, trying to change the human body and talking about we're going to create real humanity. Talking about it's not the robotization of people. It is. That's what it is. Robotization. Whatever the word he said. Robotization. Shit. Of the people. Esau was making up his own damn words. That's why you have movies like RoboCop. We can go on and on, but let me move on. It says, verse 7, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. All right, that's what the Lord said. What? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? All right. And Lucifer means what? The illuminated ones. Okay, the light bearers. And they basically, what? Their light is darkness. But it's talking about right here, their glory. All right, it's going to be defiled. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. So that's what's coming to people like Klaus Schwab, all right, that seek to gain riches through their traffic and their injuries. All right, you heard it from him, man. He said there's going to be resistance, and they want to create a new world to where everybody has nothing and they're happy having nothing, and there's less factories from their second industrial revolution, the building of the factories, and the third, and they want to end all of that and say, hey, we're creating clean air for everybody. See, global warming, we're gonna fix everything. But we're bringing in technology to replace the humans at these jobs. So we want to make it so you don't lose your job. So we're gonna connect the machines to you as well, and you can be able to manipulate the machines. It's like, nah, man, this shit gonna control you. You see that, man? That's their whole what's that shit called, man? It was a movie. I can always forget the name of these movies, man. It began with an S, I think. But they had the circle space station out in the heavens, and it was made into a upside down peace sign, which is like a witchcraft symbol. And they were trying to, what was his name? It was around the tip of my tongue, but they were trying to build their own metropolis, and that's what this is. All right. So they want war, they want chaos, and they're expecting everybody to resist, and they're going to try to rush in like a flood. He keeps saying, he said it's going to be like a flood. Globalization 4.0. It's moving fast. It's moving like a flood. Moving like a tsunami. Like he's excited and shit. All right, this devil right here, man. All right, so we in this time, man, where the Lord going to reveal his power. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. Why? Because his prophets are out here prophesying in the name of Yahweh that these things are going to happen. That Esau is going to try to start a new world order and try to chip you and shit like that. And the Lord warned us about this. And his glory from the rising of the sun, from the east to the west. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. So they rushing in like a flood. And what happens with a tsunami? It starts with a flood, or with a little small flood of water, and then eventually you get the tsunami. And that's what they about to do, man. This is an event. Check this out. What does it say up there? You see that? Second Industrial Revolution. There it go. And it says what? An event. So this is an event that's happening right now. And the transition point has a beginning and an end. So now they want to move on to the fourth industrial revolution, the 4.0. All right. And they say where it won't change the things we do, I ain't gonna say we, it won't change the things people do. It's going to change the person itself. All right. The person themselves, man. As we see it happening now. And they're forcing it through their deception and their lies and their media and their push for time. Man, we got to hurry up. We got to hurry up. Check this out. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice. Actually, this is Psalm 17. And where was it at? There you go. Psalm 17:8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me. From my deadly enemies. These are deadly enemies, man. They're not playing. They're deadly. And the Lord created them to be the sword. All right? And that punishment is going to fall on 2/3 of our people. It says, who compass me about, man. And they're compassing us about all around. They are enclosed from the wicked that oppress me. They are enclosed in their own fat and their own increase. They're blinded by their own wealth. With their mouth, they speak proudly. Yeah, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this New World Order. And we need everybody to be compassionate about it. It's like, what? All right. So they're speaking proudly because of their riches and their wealth. They have now compassed us in our steps. That's why I said they have become wiser than Daniel. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. All right. So they're looking down at the earth like they're gonna right here it says, like as a lion that is greedy of its prey, man. So they already been preying and preying on the people and devouring them. As it were, a young lion lurking in secret places. All right, so they set their eyes towards the earth. Why? Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So if your mind is in the heavens, the Lord said you should be rejoicing, and the angels are rejoicing. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So if you're of the elect, you're going to be taken up and delivered from what's to come. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So they're moving quick. All right, that's what he says. It's moving so fast. It's like a tsunami. Esau is wicked, man. All right. And that's it, man. They're going to show up rushing like a flood. All right. Taking away the Constitution and going against the Constitution. And saying that people don't have a soul or a mind to think for themselves. And these idiots are proving that to be true because they don't think for their damn self. They follow the damn yellow brick road and shit. This is the fourth industrial revolution. What it means, how to respond. Klaus Schwab. All right, this damn vampire and shit. We stand on the brink of a technological revolution. So they feel like this is their opportunity. And it's really the Lord putting it in their heart to make this move. So the Lord can destroy them. All right. That will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. Deep, right? That's what they say. They saying it's a pandemic, but they saying there's something going around right now. But hey, man, this is what it's really about. I was listening to an interview the other day where these investors, they were talking, and it was a real boring video. That's where all the information is at, in the boring videos. And they were talking, and they were planning around February or March for this event to be over. Maybe, maybe not, but they were planning for it. These investors talking, bunches of them. They was all talking, and they were talking about how Big Pharma finally has the investment numbers going to be out. All right, the order out of chaos, or what you would call in banking supply and demand. All right, to create the demand, they got the supply. Now they get the investors. And now they have a time span to see how quick they can get that demand up and to get the supplies going out, which creates more demand. You get it? All right. So that's what's happening right now as we speak. creating the demand through the media, to create supply. Trump, Operation Warp Speed, Fauci, and they create more demand. All right, by saying they're running out of resources, which creates what? Investors, and creates a whole new market, and keeps the farmers. You get what I'm saying? The big farmers from losing out, but the people lose out in the process. That's where you have your depopulation plan. It says, in its scale, scope, and complexity, Esau talked with a forked tongue, man. So the transformation, see, it's a transformation. They're trying to pervert the way they sort of call it a new norm. I'm gonna just read it. I hate the way they talk, man. The transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. All right, so that's what's happening, man. All right, and this happened in 70 AD, but this also falls on these times today, because what? Wickedness has increased, the idolatry has increased, the wickedness amongst our people have increased, population has increased. So that means the judgment is going to be that much greater. Matthews 24 and 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall ever shall be. All right. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. So it says what? It will be, I'm right here as well. It will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. We do not yet know just how it will unfold, but one thing is clear: the response to it must be integrated and comprehensive. So, all right, so they're going to integrate their own agenda, and they're also going to be paying attention and creating algorithms to attack. All right, involving all stakeholders. You get it? Stakeholders, investors, and everybody that has an investment in this, of the global political parties, from the public and private, rich people, sectors of the academia, so in the school system. All right, the civil society, that's your governments. And also, entertainment. The first industrial revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production. The second used electric power to create mass production. All right, warehouses and products. And machines in the warehouses. All right. The third used electronics and information technology to automate production. It had automated systems. Now, a fourth industrial revolution is building on the third, the digital revolution that has been occurring since the middle of the last century. Man, these devils been way ahead of the game, man. It is characterized by a fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between the physical, talking about the human body. It's going to blur the lines between it. So it's no longer just going to be physical. It's going to be physical, digital, and biological spheres. It's right there, man. So this is the fourth revolution that they're moving into. And they pushing it. And that's how you know Yahweh Shah is about to return. All right. There are three reasons why today's transformations or new world orders represent not merely a prolongation of the third industrial revolution, but rather the arrival of a fourth. So they're basically saying it's not really a blurred line or a building upon the digital. It's just saying they're moving towards a whole new revolution. It's just called the fourth one, and a distinct one. Velocity, scope, and systems impact. The speed of the current breakthroughs has no historical precedent. When compared with previous industrial revolutions, the fourth is evolving at an exponential rather than a linear pace, man. So they're saying it's moving real fast. All right. Moreover, it is disrupting almost every industry in every country, and that's what they want. They want this fourth industrial revolution through this what do you call it? What they have going out with the pandemic. That cut out the middle class, and that cut out a lot of businesses, and it affected the whole world system. That's why they said now is the time for a great reset. All right, and start dealing with local issues, with world resources, and outsourcing the problems to a global governance. All right, the speed of the current breakthroughs has no historical precedence. When compared with previous industrial revolutions, the fourth is evolving at an exponential rather than a linear pace. Moreover, it is disrupting almost every industry in every country. What do you know that's doing that right now? And the breadth and depth of these changes herald the transformation of entire systems of production, management, and governance. All right, so now they're moving from it affecting just the financial market and the businesses. They helped it to affect the federal government. All right, entire systems of production, warehouses. That's why they have robots instead of humans. They have people talking through glass and shit. 6 feet. Mask. Now, as of October 1st, everybody had to go according to the mandate or they get fired from their jobs. And it happened. You know, a lot of them got fired. The possibility of billions of people connected by mobile devices. They all want to be connected, huh? With unprecedented processing power, storage capacity, and access to knowledge. Basically saying that they'll be connected to the Internet of Things. All right, instead of Internet of Things, it'll be called the Internet of Bodies. All right, the possibilities of billions of people connected by mobile devices with unprecedented processing power, storage capacity, clouds and stuff, right? And access to knowledge are unlimited, see? And they use social media like Facebook, Instagram, and the clouds and everything to gather people's information and create algorithms. Predictive programming. Or predictive spying. And these possibilities will be multiplied by emerging technology breakthroughs in fields such as artificial intelligence. See, AI, that's what they're doing. If you have, what do you call that damn, Sophia? No, what do they say? What do they call that shit? I don't say it. I tell my children not to say it, but that damn name, or Siri, or whatever they call that shit. All right. It says robotics, the Internet of Things, right? All right. So the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles. That way they offer all these little robots to children now. making them become friends with damn robots. 3D printing, nanotechnology. There you go. Biotechnology. Wow, that's connecting the human body to technology. Materials science, energy storage, and quantum computing. Whoa, quantum. That deals with on the level of atoms, or would you say elements, right? Or autonomy. But you have to speak about atoms. You have to speak about nuclei when you're talking about these things. Or you can't just say elements. You got to be detailed. All right, just like we're detailed in anything else. Already, artificial intelligence is all around us, man. From self-driving cars, that's what you see on the trucks. A lot of the truck industry, they move towards self-driving trucks, self-driving cars, electrical cars. They say it's all set up for the new world order. All right, and drones to virtual assistants and software that translate or invest. All right, software that translate when you're talking to your phone and shit, and invest. So software that translates information, what would that be? An interface. Translate something from a computer to a human body, or something from messages from the human body to a computer. Machines that invest would be like Bitcoin. All right, and what do you call that? Cash App. Impressive progress has been made in AI in recent years, driven by exponential, you love that word, all right, increases in computing power and by the availability of vast amounts of data, right? All right, Daniel 12:4, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. And we're in the time of the end of this man's system, Esau's system, the end of wickedness. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right, so they're running all over the world, traveling with the planes and shit, and other types of travel, yachts and whatever. It says what? And knowledge shall be increased. All right, because you notice he keeps saying exponential. All right, so he said they want their agenda to move exponentially, and they said it's doing so, like a flood. And a flood, it creeps in from different directions. All right, of an increase becoming more and more rapid, of or expressed by, so it's basically something increasing, going faster and faster, like the frog in the pot. All right, so they basically gonna turn up the heat, man. Let's see if there's anything else on here. I'm gonna read this as fast as I can. Driven by exponential increases in computing power, they've done that, 5G, and by the availability of vast amounts of data from software used to discover new drugs, to algorithms used to predict our cultural interests. What's that? Facebook, Instagram. All right. So they use all that to gather the data. Digital fabrication technology. All right. Meanwhile, are interacting with the biological world on a daily basis, however they want. Engineers, designers, and architects are combining computational design, people like Bill Gates and Elon Musk, additive manufacturing, materials engineering, and synthetic biology. There you go. That's it right there. Synthetic biology. All right, synthetic. That means fake. Biology. All right. To pioneer a symbiosis between microorganisms, our bodies, the products we consume, and even the buildings we inhabit. So they want to basically set up for the chip. All right. The mark of the beast. We'll be able to go into the house, get into your cars, everything hands free, germ free, you get it? Challenges and opportunities like the revolutions that preceded it, the fourth industrial revolution, has the potential to raise global income levels and improve the quality of life for populations around the world. It's going to kill everybody. All right. Yeah, let me get to the point in this one. All right. To date, it says those who have gained the most from it have been consumers able to afford and access the digital world. Technology has made possible new products and services that increase the efficiency and pleasure of our personal lives. See, these people desire pleasures. Ordering a cab, booking a flight, buying a product, making a payment, listening to music, watching a film, making a payment, playing a game, any of these can now be done remotely. All right, so you don't need cash anymore. All right, I'm gonna read this last part because there's some details in here. It says, technology is therefore one of the main reasons why incomes have stagnated. All right, so it took away jobs when they brought in that technology, or even decreased. For a majority of the population in high-income countries, the demand for highly skilled workers has increased, while the demand for workers with less education and lower skills has decreased, right? The result is a job market with a strong demand at the high and low ends, but a hollowing of the middle. So they're getting rid of the middle class, hollowing it out. All right, pressure from above and pressure from below. And they're blessing the covetous, creating a new upper class and a new lower class. This helps explain why so many workers are disillusioned and fearful that their own real incomes and those of their children will continue to stagnate. It also helps explain why middle classes around the world are increasingly experiencing a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction and unfairness. So they're putting pressure on the middle class, getting rid of businesses. A winner takes all economy that offers only limited access to the middle class is a recipe for a democratic malice and dereliction. My goodness, man, the goddamn devils. Dereliction, man. All right. They talk so damn eloquent, but they dumb as hell. Discontent, and it's a bastard's tongue, you know. Discontent can also be fueled by the pervasiveness of digital technologies. All right, so the discontent is also fueled by the pervasiveness of digital technologies and the dynamics of information sharing typified by social media. More than 30% of the global population now uses social media platforms to connect, learn, and share information. In an ideal world, they're talking about the new world, these interactions would provide an opportunity for cross-cultural understanding and cohesion. So basically saying they can get all your data through these social media sites. All right, I'm gonna end it with this one right here so I can be able to edit the video and have enough memory space. I didn't get any of the scriptures I wanted to bring out. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity. See, they're devising and creating this iniquity. That's how you know they're the mystery of iniquity, the sons of perdition. Woe, and so destruction unto them. All right, these heathens and this devil Klaus Schwab, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence. And houses, the first, second, and third revolution, industrial revolutions, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. That's what they're doing now as well. But they call it resistance. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. All right, Schwab family, Esau, Edom, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. All right. So this was originally talking about Jake right here, but this all these curses on Esau now. So I'm gonna end it there, man, and see you on the next lesson. I'll get more detail. So that's the first, second, and third, and fourth industrial revolutions, and you have Klaus Schwab speaking about this fourth one that they call globalization 4.0. So that was their whole agenda from the beginning, is the globalization, the new world order. All right, but the Lord is going to lift up a standard against them. But it's beautiful because we're witnessing it like a movie. So with that, I'm saying, Shalom.